My whole thing is just messed up.
All right. We're going to have to sort of wait here just a second. Okay, if anybody can see me out there now, just give me a shout and let us know that y'all can see us again. We're going to wait just a few minutes to see if people are still on. Hopefully it'll come back up. I'm not for sure exactly what happened, but we're trying to.
We'll come back up now. So
we're back. Hopefully we're back on. If you're back on live with us, could you let us know? Come on and let us know that you're live with us. We're trying to get back on. Let's see if that's the one it was.
That's the one it was.
I'm not for sure. Let's see here. Is that one good now?
Yeah.
That's before. That's before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What we're trying to do right now, we're trying to get the live stream back up. Like I said, we're new to this. And we probably messed up. We don't know exactly what we're doing, but we're going to try to figure it out here in just a second.
You gotta go to your channel.
There we go. And we also changed screens. So you should see a new screen on there that's got woodallsrvnusa travels on it. We know we got 3 watching right now. People's coming
Mark's
back up.
on. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, is it better now? We're trying to get it back up there where we can see it. I think what I'm gonna have to do, I think I know what the problem is. I think what I'm gonna have to do is cut my I'm gonna cut that off because I think that's pulling a lot of our stuff down.
You didn't cut it off.
Says yes, better now.
You didn't cut it off though.
Did I not?
No, because you hit the button 2 times.
We're trying.
You hit the button 2 times.
Okay. Now we're rolling. I see Mark's back on there. He said, yes, it's better now. Mark, you can see us and hear us better. I'm trying to get my, I think what's happening is I had my monitor up there on and it's on Wi-Fi. And then our
camera and stuff's all on Wi-Fi.
Everything
had too much going at one time.
Too much going at one time in here for all this. So we've got it all cut off now. So we're back on here. Let's get back to where we were at because we don't want to get everything messed up. Where was I? Do you remember?
Or quick shout to early commenters. We've had some questions and stuff, and some of the questions that we've got from people even on from the RV community and stuff on our Facebook pages and stuff, and even on here was one of them was, why did we buy a Roadtrek? Why was that the one we chose?
Well, I'll tell you what let's do. Let's just do those right real quick while we're getting everybody back on here. Hey, Sam. Okay. Sam, I think what I did, I want to give a shout out to Sam. He is with Big Bass and New Roads. I think that's what that is. He's one of our YouTube buddies, and Sam does. He goes camping. Matter of fact, he's getting ready to take off and go to Alaska. I think not too long from now. And you should see the rig he's got. It is out of this world. It actually he pulls his boat and his
camper.
Well, he's got his boat, but he's also got a vehicle under his Jeep.
His boat and his truck.
So it's pretty neat. And he actually designed that, built it. Y'all have to look at that and check out big
contraption out.
Yeah. What Sam's done. He did a good job on that. But yeah, let's just go ahead and we're going to try to get some of these questions out of the way right real quick in case some of these people are on here Of course, everybody's not commenting to us, so we need you to comment. And it's kind of hard if we're trying to see everybody here that's on here, but we've got 25 on now, so that's good. We didn't even think we would have that many, but one of the questions that we had on our Facebook, and like I said, we can't feed to our Facebook, but I know some people's going to be watching this, and you know what I did? I forgot to put their names on there. I sure did. Okay. Well, they'll know what their questions was. They'll say their question, but somebody asked us, said, how long have we been traveling? And like I said, that goes back to our intro earlier. We've been traveling now for a little over 2 years. Is that right?
Yeah.
And so we've been out west, and we've been down south, and we've been up north, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that here in just a few minutes. But that's how long we've been doing this. And this other one says, what made us do a YouTube channel? That's a loaded question. But like Melissa said earlier, our mainest reason, we don't get paid for any of this. We're not sponsored by anybody. I'm not making any money off of YouTube, and there is money to be made on YouTube. It's not a great lot of money, but we don't do this for that. I'm actually, like I said, retired, and Melissa's still working. And when we go full time, then we might think about doing it for some money to be able to add to our travel and expensive stuff. Because let me tell you something, it costs a lot of money to travel if you don't think it does. And dadgum, these campsites and stuff has gone up from what they used to be.
Well, we've been
unreal.
lucky. We've been blessed. We found some. Most of the ones we've had have not really been that expensive. Now we've seen some that are pretty expensive.
We seen one the other night with some people that.
What was it? $249 a night.
A night.
Yeah.
$249 a night. Needless to say, I won't be staying there. But that's okay. They've got those, and they cost that much. But it's kind of expensive sometimes. Okay, let's get another one. It says where our next long trip will be. Well, I don't want to give that out. Yeah,
no, you can give them a little taste.
Just a little taste.
You're going to go up.
We're going to go east.
We're going to go east.
Not Knoxville, Tennessee, neither.
East and north.
East and north. There you go. We'll leave you with that. We'll let you know a little bit about that, where we're going and stuff. But let's see. Let's get another one real quick. Do you like your Class B van, or do you wish you had bought something else? Well, you answer that.
Well, to be honest, we actually, when we started looking, it took us about 3 years. We started out looking at pull behinds. Then next step was we started looking at the Class C's. After he had his stroke, we started looking at the Class C's, because he was like, I don't want to really have to drive a truck and pull something behind us and all that. And getting up and down off the ground, trying to get the levelers out and all that. And we had heard from some other friends that have RVs, and they have some pretty big RVs. They were like, some of the places that we're staying at now is starting to go to smaller units. So we're going to have to get rid of ours and get a smaller one. And we was looking at all that. And I said, well, it's just going to be me and you. It ain't going to be nobody else. And he said, I really don't want to pull another vehicle behind us. So we started looking at the Class C's. And then we heard a lot of people say, well, if you can only drive a Class C and you don't bring a vehicle with you, got to unhook every time you want to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we don't want to do that. So we ended up, and at first we drove a Class A, we drove a Class C, and then we drove a B. And we kind of decided that it was big enough for us, because when you go to a campground or a campsite, you're not just sitting inside the van all day. But it's small enough that we can drive it anywhere we want to go. We can go to a restaurant or anything, and we can park real easy. It's easy to get in and out of. And with the lithium on it, sometimes we don't even plug in.
That's right.
And,
but that, to me, I guess the reason I like the Class B a lot more than some other larger ones is, like she said, it's easier for me to drive. And with that lithium in it, makes it a whole lot easier. We have a macerator on our waste disposal. And it's just a whole lot easier for me to do that. Now, you know, big rigs has their place. You take somebody like I was talking about Sam a while ago. Sam, you're still there, and you can throw something in on this too while we're here talking about it. But Sam, he likes to, the way he likes to set up, he goes and stays for places a long time, and he goes fishing and does all that stuff. And that's one of the good things about having the bigger RVs. You can set up and stay set up for a longer time if you're planning on staying somewhere for a while. You know, Melissa and I, we like to go visit, maybe stay a day or two, and then move on. And we like being able to get in small towns and being able to maneuver around easier in them. And we like a lot of history and stuff. So when we're out traveling, we just like to get out and see the history and stuff.
We may stay 2 or 3 days at a town or
We
something.
have.
But now,
When we went to Yellowstone,
Yeah.
we stayed 2 or 3 days in towns and stuff. But it just makes it a whole lot easier with that Class B. And I've got one more here that I've got. I'm going to answer this. Somebody asked us, where did we get our Roadtrek Zion? Our Roadtrek Zion, I'm going to tell you, I looked for that thing for 3 years. It took us 3 years to finally figure out exactly what we wanted. And I was sitting here at the house one day, and we had already 2 or 3 weeks
we'd
prior
already
to
found
that.
2 other ones.
We found 2 of the Roadtrek Zions, and one of them was in Mississippi, I think, and the other one was in
Alabama.
I think it was in Alabama. And so I called the guy in Mississippi, and I told him, I said, we're coming down. I said, is that van still available? He said, yes. He said, it's still here. I said, well, now I'm going to go ahead and get rooms and stuff down there, and we're going to be driving down tomorrow, because I think it was about 6 hours away. That's where it was. And so we jumped in the truck and was getting ready to go, and I called, and he said, I'm sorry, it's done sold. So, you know,
he was doing an RV show.
No, that's a different one. This is the guy in Mississippi. The guy in Alabama was at the RV show.
And somebody sold that one before we got there.
I told him, I said, well, where are you at? And he said, I'm in Alabama. And I told him, I said, well, we're wanting to come down tomorrow and look at it and see if it's what we want. If it is, I want to buy it. And he said, well, I've got to go to the RV show. He said, you call me and before you come. And he said, I'll get with you on it. And he said, I'll get a hold of somebody over at the shop. He said, and let them know that you're coming. And so the next morning I got on the phone. I called him. I said, hey, I can't remember what the guy's name was. I said, hey, we're wanting to come over and look at that van. If it's what we want to buy it. And he said, well, let me call the shop right real quick. Well, he called the shop and got in touch with somebody over there. And I'd be daggum if they hadn't unsold it that day, that morning, while he was there at the RV show. So that knocked all that out.
So about 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, I was sitting here at the house. I come in and I was sitting down and I had my phone and I was just flipping. You know how you do when you're looking. You go to all the sales places and everything and look and see what all's going on. And I flipped through it. And it just happened to pop up on my phone. And I got on it and I looked at it exactly what we wanted. And I called Melissa and I said, Melissa, I'm fixing to call this dude real quick and make him an offer on this van. And so I called him and I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to make an offer on the van. I made an offer on the van. And he turned that down. And he said, I said, well, can you hold it till tomorrow for us to come down and look at it? And he said, well, you put a deposit down. I said, yes. And so I put a deposit down on it. And we took off from road to North Carolina.
As soon as I got off from work,
as soon as she got off from work, we
we're
took
leaving
off.
now.
And we got up real early and took off and made that trip. And
well, we left straight from as soon as I walked in the door. We left and ended up sleeping at a Cracker Barrel in my car in North Carolina. And then getting up the next morning, we actually got at their shop before they even opened the doors.
We did. We slept for a while before we actually got there. But anyhow, to answer the question, I need to get back to that before we get on to some of this other stuff right real quick. Now, y'all, we're going to stay on here as long as everybody's still on here. We want to we've got a little outline here that I did that I want to try to get all this information in so y'all know a little bit more about us. And please, y'all talk to us. Let us know you're out there. If nothing else, let us know where you're from, and make a comment or give us a thumbs up or something, so we'll know that y'all are there. D&H Marine Sales in what was the name? Apex, North Carolina is where we got the van from. And those guys out there at D&H Marine were real nice. They do carry Roadtrek. They still carry Roadtrek. And of course, a lot of people says, well, what is a Roadtrek? These vans are made in Canada, is where they're made at. And we had, like I said, had a hard time finding what we were looking for, because I looked at everything else, and this was one that matched what I was looking at. But that's where we did that. I'm going to get this out of the way, and let's get back over here to this, because I'll be rambling on all night about that other stuff. What does the community mean to us? Like we said earlier, y'all mean a lot to us. We have so much fun getting out and traveling and meeting people. And hopefully one day we'll get to meet some of y'all that's out there. We want to do that. And we're going to be traveling a lot more when she retires in December. So that'll be a good thing. A fun or personal thing from a road trip. What do you?
The prairie dogs. I love the prairie dogs that you wouldn't let me have one.
Hey, let me tell you something. If you hadn't seen that video, go back and watch that. I forget what video it is that's on there. But it had her out there with the prairie dogs. Now, this is before you go through the Badlands. There's a place there that you can see prairie dogs.
After we left the Wild Drug Store.
Yep. And I'm going to tell you, she was out there playing with it. She had Peanuts feeding them things, and they were out there running all around her. And everybody else that was feeding them Peanuts, they wouldn't come up to them very much. But her, she was like, she's an animal magnet. That's what she is an animal magnet.
I like the critters.
I guess that's what she called it.
I like the little critters.
But she was an animal magnet, and they just kept coming up to her, and she had a ball with it. And I guess one of the fun things that we've done is I got to go visit the 1880s town, the old towns, the western towns that's out there. That's a lot of my stuff that I like. I like westerns and out in the West and stuff, and seeing all that. And we got to see a lot of museums and stuff while we were there, and got to go through a lot of stuff. And that was fun to me, because you read about this stuff all your life, and I'm sure there's some of y'all that's on here that has read about all this stuff, and some of you may have lived in those places and you hadn't even got out to even go see them. But going through that part of the country was really fun. We had a good time, and it was great. But we really did enjoy it. But I guess that's
the 1880s town had a lot of the stuff from the set of the movie Dances with Wolves in it. And that was one of the things that you liked about it, was because you'd watched the movie, and it was being able to see props and stuff that they had used in houses and everything. Was amazing.
The props that's there at that 1880s town, if y'all ever get a chance to go to it, is the real props that they used in the movie. All that stuff that's in there, that horse that was laying down on the ground and had the little crows that were sitting up on it, or whatever they were. I guess may have been buzzards or vultures, or whatever they were, but it was still there. And a lot of the props of the buildings and stuff like that, and all the old wagons and stuff, it was still there. Our current trip and project update. I guess one of the things is, like you said, we'll probably head over to the RV show down in Huntsville tomorrow. We'll be taking some video down there.
Mark said I was a prairie dog whisperer.
Yeah, right. Mark, she is a prairie dog whisperer. I can tell you that, because if you watch any of the videos, you'll see that when I put them on there, it was I called her Ellie Mae Clampett, my little Ellie Mae Clampett, because she just like Ellie Mae. She's got to play with all of them. But anyhow, our projects that's coming up, like I said, we're going to try to get out and go to the RV show. We're going to be doing that. We've got 2 or 3 more trips we're going to be taking here locally close. right now, why it's winter. We try to stay. Of course, y'all have to understand when we travel like this, Melissa is, she's not retired yet. So it's hard for her to get a bunch of days off. So we have to try to hit out on a Friday evening. And then it takes a Saturday and Sunday and to get back. And so we have to miss our church family, but we have YouTube and we watch them on it, so we don't miss church and stuff. And when we come back in, our adopted grandbabies that we have, they're just happy as can be when they see us, and so that's pretty good. But yeah, we're going to be doing some local stuff around here pretty close. We got one that's actually coming out next week. That's in Sewanee, Tennessee. Now, all of y'all that's not familiar with Sewanee, Tennessee, Sewanee, Tennessee is in the Cumberland Mountains. It is in Middle Tennessee.
On the Cumberland Plateau.
Yeah, it's on the Cumberland Plateau. Now, they've got boo-koodles of walking trails up there. So if you're a walking trail person, I'm telling you, you would enjoy it because it's fun to go up there. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. You can watch the video. It'll be out this coming Saturday at 7 o'clock. No, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Comes out on Saturdays at 9 o'clock. So if you'll tune into that, you can see that. It was real good. We really enjoyed that. There's a lot of history that's there. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't even know about the town there. One of the things that you'll learn about is there's a football. Now, if there's any of y'all out there that are football players and have been big pro football players and all this, everybody, here, I'm a Tennessee fan. And if you're another fan, let us know. We can scroll through here and see if we can find that and see if somebody's another fan. But I'm a Tennessee fan because we do live here in Tennessee. But the University of Sewanee, you'll have to watch that video. I'm not going to tell anything about that. You'll have to watch that because let me tell you something. It was, they actually beat a bunch of teams. You have to see who all they beat. They used to be in the SEC. They were one of the first into the SEC, but you have to see who they beat. It just bung-fuzzled my mind to see that, but it's really true. But that's a lot of the stuff that we got coming up, and it says, where are we now? Well, we're at our home base here in Tennessee. Right now, we're in southern Middle Tennessee. I'll just leave it at that. That's where we're at. We're in southern Middle Tennessee. And yes, we have lived here all our lives. We are from Tennessee. We're not from somewhere else and moved in. We're actually Tennesseans. We love Tennessee. And I'm going to tell you, we've traveled to other states and we love them too. But our heart's in Tennessee, and that's where we're at. Okay. Recent adventures and challenges. You going to tell about Florida?
Oh, Gulf Shores.
Yeah, Gulf Shores.
Yeah, we got down there and got there early, so we had to spend the 2 nights at the Cracker Barrel parking lot.
And this was during Christmas.
And it was on Christmas. So Christmas Day, we were in the Cracker Barrel parking lot, and I forgot, what did I fix us to eat? I think I can't remember what we even ate.
We thought we had this figured out, but we found out we're just crazy. Okay, because when she gets to where she can leave, I keep my clothes packed out there in the van. I don't even have to do nothing except grab my CPAP machine and my medicine, and I'm gone. Of course, she's got to come in and pack a little bit of stuff. But if she tells me we're going, we're going. We're not just sitting around. We're going. But it was really funny because we got there in Foley, Alabama, right outside of Gulf Shores, and we did have to spend the 2 nights there at the
yeah, because we couldn't get into the campsite till
the campsite
Friday.
We sort of messed that up, but that's okay. They got her campsite and everything, but
we still had a good time.
We got to visit Foley, and that was real. We got also did a video on Foley, so y'all can watch that and see Foley, Alabama down there, what we got to see. And
had a real nice walking trail down in Foley. It was real nice. It was we did a small walk, but they actually had, I forgot what it was. It was 22 or 23 miles of walking trails that they had in this little park.
Well, they
And
had
I didn't even know it was there.
I didn't either. You know, back when I went to Foley back years ago,
Oh, it's grown a lot.
they only had about 18,000 people. And I
Yeah.
think now you looked it up.
Yeah,
What
they're
was
like
it, 30,
they were close to 40 something.
40 something
Yeah.
thousand? Phew, I knew it was a lot of people, but you could tell, man, that place had grown. It was really
But it's
something
still real
else.
pretty.
But I guess probably the recent thing that we did, like I said, was a natural bridge. And we do want y'all to watch that video, take a look at it and see what you think. Like I said, for all of y'all that loved trails and walking trails and history, it'll be something to see. And where are we at now? Behind the scenes details viewers never seen in the edited videos. Oh boy. let me tell you about that Gulf Shores right real quick. It was really funny, but it wasn't funny. But we decided when we got there at Gulf Shores that we were going to take and go on the hike. And I told her, I said, let's go down some of the trails. And so we went down a trail that was named
Armadillo
Way or something like that. It was Armadillo something or other. And I'm telling you, we got to walking down through, and of course, here's some water on the side of us.
And y'all know in Florida.
Wait a minute, don't tell it. Hold on a minute, let me tell this. And she was walking in front of me. Of course, I'm sitting there filming, you know, while everybody's walking and everything. And I'm shooting some of the water and everything. And all of a sudden, I turned to my right and I had the camera down on the edge of the water. And all of a sudden, I seen this alligator. And it dropped off into the water. And she turned around and she took off.
I ain't getting
She said, she told me, she said, if I could just, she said, all I've got to do is outrun you.
That's right.
And I said, you wouldn't be able to do that. And she said, I ain't got my bear spray. What are you going to do with bear spray?
Spray something.
Spray an alligator with bear spray?
Yeah.
If somebody out there knows that bear spray works on alligators, let me know. Okay, because I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, but look, you walk over to the edge of the water to see where it's at. Where was I at? I was right at the bottom of a tree.
You was way you was fixing to climb a tree. I'm sure what you out there going to do, but it was hilarious.
I like critters, but I don't like that kind. No snakes, no alligators, no rats.
You know, it's really fun because I get to edit all this stuff, and everybody always tells me, "Are y'all people like that?" And I'm like, "Yes, this is us." Now, let me tell you something. This girl right here is my partner. She's been my partner for 20-something years now. And we don't, we joke around with each other and kid and have fun all the time. You know, what would the day go by if you couldn't have a friend with your wife and husband? You know, that's one thing I like. And when we're traveling and stuff, we're laid back. We don't get excited. And if things don't go as it's planned, we don't worry about it. We don't care. But I guess that's one of the funny things in editing. And what do you got that you?
Oh, I think it's when we were in Ider, Alabama.
Don't tell that.
We were walking.
Don't tell that.
He's always making fun of me because I have bifocals. So if you go downstairs and you wear bifocals, you'll know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you can't be sure.
That.
He's walking, saying, "Get in front of me, walk in front of me, don't fall, be real careful." Next thing I know, I look back and there he is rolling. He done fell.
I held on to the camera though. I didn't release the camera, and I still got footage. I just didn't put the footage into that. And I think somebody, when I was talking to about that, said, you need to make a blooper video so that they can see some of this stuff. And I thought, well, you know, that might be something that we can do, is make a blooper or something on some of that. But it was hilarious. But I tell you what, that is a pretty place down there in Ider, Alabama. That is what's the name of that?
Thunder Canyon.
Thunder Canyon down in
very,
Ider,
very
Alabama.
nice people. Everybody there was super sweet.
Hey,
super nice.
Well, the RV Odd Couple is the ones that runs that there, and we really did have a good time there. I got to meet John, Mercedes, and Sage, their kid. And if you look at the video that come out with that on there, I can't remember the name of the video now. Do you remember the video?
It was right around Halloween time.
Yeah, it was around Halloween time. So it was in that time of year. But we did get to meet them. They were real good people. And I'm going to tell you something. John them's done a lot of work with that down there. That was an older, It was an older campground that was used by the Boy Scouts and some other people. And John, them actually went in there and took that and made a real good campground out of it.
It's very pretty. Walking trails and stuff are exceptional.
They've actually got
a really nice swimming pool.
Yeah,
they've
got a church there that they built
Yeah.
where they have services on Sunday, Wednesday night. I think they have lessons and stuff there in it, but it was really nice.
It'll be a place we'll go back to.
Oh yeah, we'll go back. Let's see what we got. What's coming up next on the channel? Upcoming episodes. Well,
You just told about the.
I think I done told about all that.
you done told about
So
that.
we've got all that. Well, let me ask you this. Since we got everybody on here and some of y'all, and there's 35 people on here right now, that's more than I ever expected to have on here. I'm just surprised that everybody's on here because, like I said, we're newbies to this and the live stream. Hopefully, the next time when we come back, we'll have our backdrop. Hopefully, it'll get here in time. And hopefully we'll have everything set up a little bit better and do a little bit better. Of course, us going out a while ago may have kicked some people and stuff off, but like I said, I'm learning, getting this set up and everything going right. But we're going to try to, I just want to ask out there, is there anybody out there from Canada? We want to hear from our Canada folks, if there's some out there, because we had a couple that was supposed to give us a thumbs up or let us know that you're there. And if there's anybody else out there that's not inside Tennessee, come up and let us know where you're from, because we would like to know. We want to know where everybody's at that watches this. And like I said, this is new stuff to us. We're trying to engage with our community and get with everybody and see what's going on. What did that say down there?
Sam. There's Dusty Ray.
Dusty, hey,
He's
man.
watching from Indiana.
You're in Indiana. How's everything going? I ate with your dad this morning. Well, I ate. He didn't. If you know what I'm talking about. But Dusty's one of our viewers. He's a young boy that I grew up with. He's grown up now and he's working out in Indiana, but he watches the channel all the time. We appreciate him. And Dusty, Donna is in.
She's on a boat.
How you say it? Roatan or whatever it is. And I sent her a message and told her that I was taking care of your daddy and that when she got back, he could take and buy her another trip on the boat and she could go back and not have to come back to this cold weather. So she's doing that. But I'm glad to hear and see that you're on here. I'm tickled to death of that. But, I'll tell you what, if there's some of y'all out there and you've been watching and you have some questions for us, now would be a good time to ask them. Just give us some questions that we can take and answer for you about camping or whatever. We want to. Ooh, boy, I tell you what, we've been on here, but that's okay. But if we got any questions out there that anybody wants to ask us or anything, go ahead and ask us. We'd be glad to answer some of them.
If you got any suggestions, some fun places for us to check out.
Yeah, and if you got some suggestions of places that would be good for us to go, please let us know, because we are going to be doing a lot of traveling. And if you are a camper and a traveler, please let us know where you'd like to see us go to and where we can go visit those and see what's there in that area. Travel stories. Well, I guess our travel stories that we've got, we give some of y'all Florida here. Oh yeah. Hey, Florida. And that
Mark
is
and Beth.
Mark and Beth. Mark and Beth, thank you so
Have
much.
y'all thought
for
about
joining.
taking a trip down to the Florida Keys?
Yes. Matter of fact is, Martha, we actually.
That was Dusty.
Was that Dusty?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Martha asking that. But Dusty, yes, we had. We actually was going to go down to the RV Super Show this year, but Melissa couldn't get off work, so that was a thing. But yeah, we're wanting to get down into the Keys and visit down. Matter of fact, when we go down into the Keys part, it'll probably be this time of year. When we're
Fall
out.
time.
Yeah, it'll be fall time and this time of year when we go down into the Keys and stuff. But that's an upcoming. That'll be an upcoming time that we'll
We'll
be
have to
doing
go
that.
around like what is it, St. Augustine
St.
and stuff where they've
Augustine
got
and
the
all that
thing.
stuff
You didn't
down
get
there.
to go to Anna Maria Island. I want to take you there. It was really
No,
nice.
Melissa got to go to Anna Maria Island, but I didn't get to go. But we sort of want to travel down in Florida too and visit down. I've got family that lives in Florida, so
And I do too.
Melissa does too. So we'll probably go down when we go through there and visit them. Of course, y'all know how it is. You get ready to go do this stuff, and when one person's working and the other one's retired, it's hard for you to be able to get those long trips. Now, we'll tell you a little bit about. We went out Yellowstone and took what it was. 18 days.
18,
we took
19
18 days and went out there, and she was off for 2 weeks, but she actually had to work remote all during that 2 weeks, actually. But she was like on vacation for a week, and then she had to work for a week.
And I had stuff in between every day.
It was just in between. And so it's just hard for us right now to get out and go do all that stuff. But
in May, we're going to try to do that again. We're going to try to take a couple weeks.
But if y'all are down there in Florida, was that Martha?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at there in Florida? Are you down towards that way, or where are you at?
Was that Mark and Beth?
Mark and Beth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mark and Beth. There you go, Mark and Beth, Florida. Here. Do y'all do traveling, or any of y'all do traveling or anything like that? Do y'all camp or anything?
Palmetto. Who do we know from
Palmetto?
Palmetto?
We've got somebody that we know from Palmetto.
Is that where?
You'll have to think about that. I'm not for sure. I'll have to think on that, but I think we've got some people that we know that's from down there. But yeah, we want to try to get into Florida. Like I said, that Yellowstone trip was 18 days, and we had to actually get her off from work to do that. But like I said, she's fixing to get ready to retire in December. So once she retires in December, we are actually going to take and start doing a lot of traveling.
It's game on.
Do what?
Amy is just down the road from us. Oh, Miami's just down the road from us.
Oh, Miami is. All right. You're in a good part of town down there then. Because I used to have an aunt that lived in Melbourne, Florida. And she actually, some of y'all, I'm going to tell my age right here, so don't think anything about this. But my aunt actually run the Pines Motel there in Indian Harbor Beach. They actually owned it, and she run it for a long time. We used to go down there and visit all the time. Matter of fact, the last time I was down there with her before she passed away, I went down and stayed in Disney World. Disney World, not Disneyland, but Disney World had just opened up. And we went down there and...
He meant Anna Maria Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a friend of mine that's mother and sister actually live on Anna Maria Island, and she has a couple of condos on Anna Maria Island that she rents out. So me and my sister went down to Brandon, Florida, and stayed there, and we rode around. Like my grandmother had lived in Sarasota for a while, and then she had lived in Eustis, then Ham Springs, and then I still have an aunt now that lives in Tampa.
Yeah.
So
we got places we can go down there. You know, it's sort of like our friends and our family. If you're somewhere and we can come and park in your driveway, we're cheap.
That's what I tell my
We don't
kids.
mind cooking for ourselves, or maybe even letting Melissa do a little bit of cooking for y'all. But we're cheap. But we would be glad.
We have our kids are spread out from Texas to Georgia to here, and I told them, I said, they were laughing. So what are you going to do when you retire? I said, we're going to come visit y'all, and we're going to park in your yard, and we're going to use your food, your water, and your electricity,
and wash our clothes.
Wash our clothes.
Do like they do us, and then leave.
I said, we're going to get some of our investment back.
Yeah, get some of that investment and stuff back. That's one of the things that you got to do. I tell you what, this has been fun. I don't know if y'all had fun at it, but we've had fun doing this. This is actually pretty good to be able to get to talk to everybody. And I know there's several more of y'all that's out there. I see you on here, come on, get on there and join in the conversation with us, because we want to know where everybody's at. We want to talk to everybody and see where everybody's from. And how's the weather down there in Florida right now? Is it warmed up or is it getting cold? I know tonight they're talking about our wind chill getting down to
Mine's 8 to 10.
8 to 10 below.
And even tomorrow.
Yeah.
The wind chill tomorrow is supposed to be minus
so
8 to 10.
It's going to be. Dusty, how cold is it up there in Indiana? Is it warmed up any yet? I'm sure you can probably tell us, because I know y'all had a good snow up there, because I got a friend of mine, her son works up there in Indiana, and he said it come up big snow right before this bad weather come in. And we were just wondering about it. But yeah. Well, I guess one of the things that we want to do, how long have we been on here?
You've been on for a while.
Ooh. Do y'all want to keep it going, or y'all want us to wrap this thing up? Because we'll do whatever y'all want to do. We got all time. So we got all kinds of time right now to be able to talk to everybody, if we can get everybody to talk to us. And it's 17 degrees and snow over the weekend, and it hasn't been above freezing all week. Now that's in Indiana. Dusty, where are you at in Indiana?
Don't matter. Just keep it all up there.
Well, yeah, but I'm just trying to find out if it's got 7 degrees. No, he said 17 inches of snow over the weekend. Oh my goodness. Wow. And Melissa ain't going up there.
No.
Let's put it this way: there'll be no RV travels going north. It'll all be going south. So everybody down there in Florida will be there.
We'll go up north when it's cold, cool up there in the summertime. When it's hot,
he's in Bloomington.
Whenever it's hot down here, we'll go up north where it's cooler.
Home of the 2026 national champions football team. I know you'd throw that in. Did you get to go to the game? he probably did. But I tell you what, that was a good game, though. I tell you what, it was. Everybody was just thinking Indiana was going to get wiped out by Miami, and now they may be some of y'all from Miami on here like a while ago, but now I like Miami and I like Indiana, but
they both teams played a good game.
Both teams played a good. I'm going to tell you something. If Miami had probably another minute on the clock, or even 30 something seconds on the clock, I think they would have scored. It would have been a score on it. But the interception,
they
killed it.
Hard.
But
they played hard.
Watch it with a bunch of excited Indiana. Well, I guess that's pretty good if you can do that. You can sit there and watch the football game with them and everything. Well, let's get back to a little bit of this. We got just a few more things. We'll try to get all this done, and then
we want to thank all the people that's been supportive, and everybody that's subscribed to our channels and our Facebook page and stuff. It don't cost anything for you to subscribe. We don't sell anything. It don't cost anything for that. It just lets us know how many people's out there. And
well, let me touch just a little bit on that real quick while we've got everybody on here. The YouTube is changing and the algorithms is changing. And so right now, I was looking the other day, and the guy from YouTube, he was telling about, the subscribers and people that comments and likes. The comments and the likes mean more now than the subscribers, but the subscribers still count. So I don't know what that means, but we love to have subscribers. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to it, and won't cost you a thing. But you'll get to see two old people make fun of each other and carry on with crazy stuff like we do all the time. And it'll be fun, but that's one of the good things. Let's get right back here to this. It says, share a favorite tool or gadget or a hack that we do in the van?
My favorite tool. Oh, that'd be my smokeless fire pit.
Oh my
Mhm.
smoke. Y'all, let me tell you about this smokeless fire pit. She bought this thing. It's probably about what, about
Probably
16 inches,
16
something like
inches
that,
around, 7
16
to
inches
18 inches
around.
around.
And she bought this thing and she told me, she said, honey, she said, I bought a smokeless fire pit. And she said, we're going to use it when we go down into Alabama. And we went down to the state park down there in Alabama. And we got down there and I lit that thing up and I thought, this ain't gonna work. This thing's fixing to smoke. I've never seen nothing that was smokeless. Like you light a fire, there's got to be smoke. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. That smokeless fire pit actually worked.
And you can use the pellets or you can use wood. You can put
You can
anything
use
in
both
it. It's
of them.
just the way it's designed for the airflow that it keeps it from smoking. Right? As I have allergies and sinuses, so I can't hardly stand to be. I love a fire pit and I love a bonfire, but I just can't hardly stand the smell and the stuff of the wood. It just closes me up.
But if there's any of you out there camping and you like fire pits and you have allergies and stuff, that's the thing to get.
Well, you sit
Do you
around
remember
it.
what
You
the
don't.
name of that was?
It's blue sky.
Blue Sky.
You can
It's
sit
Blue
around
Sky.
it and you don't go in with your clothes all smelling smoky or none of that.
No, and we cooked those hot dogs over
Mhm.
that. Sid, they cook pretty good. Um, a hack. What would you say?
Biggest hack we got, I get biggest thing I guess I got as a hack wise is like because our refrigerator does have a good amount of freezer space in it. So before we go camping, especially like on our 2 week trip that we went on,
Yeah,
it to save us money on buying a lot of groceries, I go ahead and like get pre-cook like some hamburger patties and we'll pre-cook like piece cooking steaks here at the house during the time. I'll go ahead and get like a whole tenderloin and a whole bag of chicken and stuff, and I'll go ahead and pre-cook that and then just put it in the little vacuum seal bags, write on it, date it, and then when we get ready to travel, we can just pull a couple of those things out and put in the freezer, which makes it very easy for us because it also makes it easy for me when I come home at nighttime. I ain't got to do a lot of cooking. I can just kind of heat those up and put a vegetable with it, and we're good to go.
yeah. It don't take her long to do that. And your chili making and stuff.
Mhm.
That's one of the hacks that she makes. That's real easy, and we got that in a video too that you can go see, so you can check it out. Well, guys, we're gonna try to wrap this thing up. We want to thank all of y'all for getting on here, and if y'all would like to see us do another one of these, we'll try to start doing some of them because, like I said, we didn't know if we would have one person or if we would have two people. But looks like now we've had several people on the channel and stuff, so we're just tickled to be able to have all of them there. And we just want to thank you. Appreciate you subscribing, and hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, you've got two dummies here that loves to camp, and that's what all this is about. So we want to keep everybody in touch with us and keep our community growing because y'all are the reason that I do these videos. I don't get paid for these videos.
Dusty says, keep having fun.
We just love getting out and going, and I like to do this. This is my hobby, is doing videos. I love to edit stuff and do stuff, and I like to make fun of her. That's the biggest thing, that I get to have fun doing that.
Yeah.
But guys, we want to appreciate you and thank you, and we're going to get out of here. We'll see y'all later.
All right.
Woodall's RV and USA. I forgot to say this: living the dream,
Enjoying the day.
enjoying the day. So we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah. Your little Mark and Bess said had a great time.
Who's that?
Mark and Bess said had a great time.